You were 23 and in college, still doing dissections during science because of the fact that they kind of made you do the whole biology thing. So, a few years prior, you had been bored in summoning demons. But one day, you actually succeeded in summoning a demon, so from that point on, you and Alastor had been close friends, and you had grown to have a crush on him. Occasionally, you would visit Hell, and he would sometimes visit you in your apartment. One day, when you got into your biology class, you noticed that they were doing a dissection that day. And then you calmly ask the teacher, what exactly are we dissecting? Then the teacher says, oh, you're dissecting a demon. The rest are dissecting a pig brain. Then you say, oh, well, I hope it's one of the sucky ones. Otherwise, I will not do it, and I do not care. Then the teacher just shrugs and says, okay. Then when you get to your lab table, you see that it's Alastor, passed out on the table, and literally chained down. So you gently tap his arm and say, Al, you okay? You don't seem able to logic right now? Then Al wakes up at your sudden touch, and when he sees you, he immediately goes back to having his trademark smile as he says, "Ah, listener, how have you been, dear?" You smile and say, "Well, I've been good, but it looks like you haven't. What, did you get drunk and pass out up here?" He gives you a look that says, "Really?" You chuckle and say, "I'm just kidding. I know you're not that dumb." Angel, on the other hand, yeah, he's that dumb. Then the teacher notices you're making conversation with what you're supposed to be dissecting. So he asks, "Not one of the sucky ones, I presume?" You nod and say, "Can I just dissect a pig brain or something?" He nods and goes and gets one for you as you calmly unchain Alastor. Alastor ends up helping you with the experiment for a bit, but then he decides it's best for him to go because you kept getting distracted by him. After that day at school, you notice that he's a little bit different with how he acts around you. After about a week, and your science class went to Hell for a bit. Oh, no one died. It was just a sort of class trip. And no one in that class had ever seen you so happy as you lead them all to the Hasbin Hotel in the Pride Ring. But after a bit, they're curious as to why, because they just think that Hell's full of evil. Whereas you know quite the contrary. When you bring them in, you say, happily in a loud voice, "Charlie, I'm here and oddly enough, I have company. And sadly, a lot of them are annoying. Then Charlie peeks her head out from the hallway and says, "Oh, hey listener, how you been?" And you smile and say, "Well, I'm doing a lot better now that I'm down here. I've learned it's much safer down here. And yes, that includes with Val. Sure, I want to shoot him in the head, but it's safer down here, even with him." Then Alastor hears you and teleports behind you. Then he hugs you tight and says, "Why, hello there. What brings you and your acquaintances here?" Then you happily say, "Hey Al, just a sort of class trip. I don't know why they decided the Pride Ring was a good idea for a bunch of college students to go to, but still." And then after a little bit, all of your classmates notice how happy you seem with the people from hell, whereas with them, you're generally just trying to stay as far away from them as possible. So one of your classmates asks, "Hey listener, why are you so happy here? You know, in the land of the damned?" You smile and say, "It's simple, really, because I trust the people here. And without them, well, I'd be down here anyway." And that's what surprises all of your classmates and the teacher. Because they never thought of you being like that. They're used to you just being the happy-go-lucky sort of person. But after a bit, well, they begin to understand why. And then Valentino comes in. So you ask, "Hey, Al? Do you know where Angel keeps his guns? Because I know he wouldn't mind me using it for this purpose." Then Al says, "I'm not sure, dear, but that I know of Angel is currently in the bar if you want to ask him." "Okay, thanks, Al," you say happily as you run off to the bar. And when you see Angel, you say, "Hey, Angel, can I borrow one of your guns?" Then Angel looks at you in confusion and asks, "Why do you want one of my guns?" And you say, "Oh, simple, Valentino's here and I want to shoot him." Then Angel smiles and says, "Sure, here you go, kid. Just don't go blowing off your own head. It's better for you to still be alive and visit us than you to be dead and be stuck down here. Or stuck up, if you know what I mean." And you say, "Oh, trust me, Ange, I would not go to heaven. I'd try to kill Adam." "And thanks, Ange. I'm gonna go slaughter the guy who decided to hurt you." And when you get back out there, you see that the students are just questioning everything, and the teacher's trying to make sure that everyone stays where they are. Then you just come out, then you load the gun, and aim straight between Valentino's eyes and shoot. And you actually hit exactly where you needed to. So you completely kill him. Then you say, "Hey, Al, do you know how to hide this body?" Then Al says, "Of course I know how to hide a body. You know who I am, don't you? You know I'm down here." Yeah, because you were a murderer and a cannibal. I still don't know why that's so bad." After a while, and you had decided it was the right time to confess to Alastor, so you just go up to Al and say, "Hey, Al, I need to tell you something." And Alastor notices that you seem nervous as you say this. So he says, "Alright, what's wrong? Did I do something?" Then you immediately shake your head and say, No, Al. It's nothing you did. It's something I just feel the need to tell you." Then he cautiously says, "Well then, go ahead. What is it?" Then you say, "Look, Al, I love you, and I have for a while." And he blushes, then quietly says, "You're not pulling my leg, are you?" Then you immediately shake your head and say, "No, I wouldn't." Then he happily says, "Well then, I love you too." I just never thought you'd feel the same.